There
Oh
we
my
go.
goodness. All right, so here we are. We're live. So welcome everybody to Slay the Season Live. It is a Monday, 4:18 p.m. Central. Yeah, we had a little bit of a interesting timing thing going on tonight, but I'm glad that everyone's here. If you're watching on Facebook Live, welcome. We're here to help installers to help them stop playing small and start building scalable, profitable commercial Christmas divisions and move up in this industry. If you're here watching on Facebook, you are not interested in just hanging a few wreaths. You're here because you want to grow to those 5 and 6 figure contracts. I know you want systems, margins, you want to know about all that. And that's why we're here. I'm Stacy Jordan with Red Sleigh Workshop. If you don't know me already, founder and CEO. I've spent over 2 decades in the commercial holiday industry working with cities, retail centers, theme parks, large scale properties. And what I've learned about all that is that most installers don't lack the talent. They just don't really have the structure and they're not sure what they're looking for. They're afraid to price the projects out and there's no strategy. So we're here to help figure that out with everybody. And that's what we're here to fix. Well, maybe not fix, but point in the right direction. But one of the ways that we do that is by bringing people on that talk about amazing things. But with that, I'm going to introduce Patrick. He is our executive vice president and co-founder of Red Sleigh Workshop, the partner that helps with everything, calms all the chaos for me mostly, except for today. He brings that mindset of executing projects. He's the one who looks for logistics, the build outs, the sourcing, and he's like, okay, how do we do this? And then I'm like, I don't know, but we're going to figure it all out. And then we work together to bring that strategy and sales together. And because without the systems, it can be chaotic. And we just work together towards that. So, Patrick, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, real quick, I'm Patrick Russell, the executive vice president and co-founder of Red Sleigh Workshop. Like Stacy said, I focus mostly on logistics, scheduling, just what are we buying, how are we getting it there, how's it showing up, what do we need when it gets there, how are we going to install it, all the fun stuff that we kind of forget about. But um, yeah, so real excited to have Sarah on today. She's one of my favorite people to talk to. So um, when Stacy told me we were going to have her on, I've been counting down the days. So, and then I know we got a couple other people in here. We have Certified Lights, Ashley Garber. I think that's Amanda was certified in here as well. And then we also have Brian Scott Spanky, as he's known in the industry. So, but yeah, Sarah, why don't you give us an intro for you?
Well, I am Sarah Vandermeer. I am the founder and CEO of Holiday Home Concepts. It's a design rendering software, but I myself have been an installer for over a decade now. I still own my installation business. And, my objective with our software and stuff is just to save you from all the tears that I went through at the beginning, the frustrations of not being able to delegate. And so we've just created a tool to really help people with that. And I love Christmas. I love what it brings to individuals and families and businesses and how it helps them grow.
That's great. And so Sarah from Holiday Home Concepts, she helps from the designing side and the system side to help scale in a way that a lot of other companies don't offer, especially with the software that you have. Because when we're dealing with high-end residential or any residential, they really want to see something ahead of time. And then when we're dealing with commercial clients, they don't want lights. They want to know what's happening, what experience they're going to get. They want to know a cohesive collection that they're going to have. It's a whole different thing visually that they're expecting. And so I'm sure we're going to talk about that when we're talking about your software. But thank you so much for being here, Sarah. I'm glad that you're here. And so, first off, you had said that you were an installer yourself. You are an installer. How was your season? How did it go?
It was really good. It was, as usual, very fast paced. We tend to book out before we get to our season. So we're usually having to turn some people away by the time we get there, which is a great thing. It's good. Um, I think we finally got the very last people who were storing their own lights to let us store for them, like the old grandfathered in people that we
Yeah.
had a decade ago when we didn't know better. But it was fantastic. We brought on new staff and trainings went a lot better and smoother this year. The weather held out. We were really happy about it.
That's great. So, you mentioned a little bit how Holiday Home Concepts started. Do you want to go into a little bit more about that, the
Sure,
need that
yeah.
you saw?
Absolutely. So, years ago, when I was, like a lot of the installers out there, I was kind of the only person who knew how to do estimates in my company. I could look at a house and say, that's 240 feet or whatever. And I was mocking up on Photoshop to make it look really nice. I would show up like in a little like dress suit blazer thing. I'd have samples. People loved it. Our acceptance rate was incredibly high. But there was a problem. I couldn't really reproduce that with, multiple people, not in the same kind of way that I was doing it. And the amount of time that it was taking was kind of enormous. Once we started getting in dozens and dozens of leads a day, there was just no possible way. My metro area, from one end to the other, it can take up to 2 hours to get
Right.
from one place to the other. And so even if I had everyone driving full-time cars all the way around, it just wouldn't be enough. And so I found myself, late at night, staying up to the all hours of the evening, trying to get things done, missing special events that my kids had because I was like, I gotta get this estimate out. I'm so
Yeah.
behind. And I was talking to a childhood friend of mine who's kind of in the tech business and stuff. And I was like, if someone just had something like this, and I was telling him what I had been envisioning for a couple of years, and he's like, well, why don't you just do it? And I was like, because I'm not a programmer. Isn't it really expensive to do software? And he goes, well, let's get a few quotes. It might be more attainable than you think. So we talked to a few different companies. We chose one that we thought would work, with us well, and we just threw everything into it. Any profits we had, we just went full on in. And I worked every single day with those programmers about how it needed to look, how it needed to feel, the different properties, like everything needed to be for that professional installer in mind so that people could hop on, assign it to a VA, and everyone would be on the same page and it would look beautiful. And we did it. It was so exciting. And we've gone through a lot of improvements since then. We've had rewrites, we've added new features every single year. And we've just really grown it. So I'm really excited about it.
Okay, so for someone who may not know what Holiday Home Concepts is, give us like a quick rundown of the
Yeah.
features and abilities that it can do. What does it actually do? Does it shorten the sales cycle? Like, what does it do for installers?
Absolutely. So Holiday Home Concepts allows you to either to upload a photo. You can get that from like anywhere. Maybe the client sent it to you or whatever. And as you are adding designs onto the photo, which we have a whole display of designs you can pick from C9s, C7s, wreaths, like anything you could need in the right commercial sizes, it's actually scaling those items for you as it's drawing it out. So it's telling you how many bulbs you need, how many feet of light you need, everything. A 60-inch wreath is going to look like a 60-inch wreath, 48 is
Oh,
going to look like
goodness.
48, and it's going to multiply that by your pricing sheet. So you'll be able to fill that pricing sheet in at the beginning of the season. So as you're designing, your numbers are completing, you'll have a nice proposal at the end of it and a beautiful design to go with it. Our software allows you to add contrast, but also take out that sky in the background and swap it out with any kind of night background that we have available. I think we've got like 7 different choices for you. We have an AI enhancement feature. So if you feel like you want it to pop even a little bit more, you can run it through our AI enhancement and make it even a little bit shinier. We have an inventory manager that links to the design. So as you get approvals, you can hit that accept button and it's going to subtract the right number of red bulbs or white bulbs or whatever you have that it is in your design. And if you don't have enough of that item, it's going to say, are you sure you want to accept? Because if you do, you're going to go negative, which is great. It's just a wonderful way to be able to hand that off to office staff to know that they are going to bid it the way you do. So that way you have it all organized and together.
right? That makes a big difference when you're coming to do an estimate, right? It's a huge difference than having to use other programs that are out there, or
Oh,
no program at all,
yeah,
paper, writing it
absolutely.
down on paper.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that we've seen is, sometimes you can have like AI just do a big design for you, but that doesn't mean that that is a profitable design.
Right.
And one of the things I'm always telling people is that you have to look at what your money makers are. Are you making more per man hour laying C9, wrapping trees, putting in decor? Like, what is it? Is it going to be realistic, whatever AI is creating? Are you going to need a lift for it? Are you going to, how are you going to tie off? How are you going to do these attachments? You can't glue to stucco. So all these things have to be kept in mind. And it doesn't do the best job of that, which is why we designed our AI feature to go based off of your design. So you're designing first and then it's enhancing it because you need to know what that looks like, not only for your profitability, but for the safety of your people as well. And then on top of that, what sets us apart is that scaling feature as well. So a lot of softwares out there, they'll just have something general, you resize it, does this look kind of okay? But that sets a really bad perception for the client. If you're showing up with a 48-inch wreath and it looks like on your project that it was 60 inches and you put it up there and it looks too small, who's paying that difference? You are. And as we all know, the cost difference to us for a 48 versus 60, one's like half the cost of the other.
Right. It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, one feature you were talking about is the night sky. Um, we used your software this last season, and I've used other CRMs, and they you can put the lights up and stuff like that, but just having that night sky is such a world of difference, because under some other softwares you just, slide the thing over to darken the image, but having that night sky feature was one of my personal favorite things, just because it was not to be, pun here, but it was night and day difference.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so, but I mean, it really was, because when you're throwing out a design and it's just daylight and you're dimming it, when you can make the background nighttime, it literally is just so great. I really enjoyed that feature. Same with the tree wrapping feature. If you want to talk about that a little more, that was one of my favorite, features to use this last season.
Oh, yeah. So we have a few different ways that we handle trees. Um, if you're looking for something that is very strategic for where you're putting stuff, we have that single light option, but we also have a scatter shot option. If you're looking for a lot of light all at the same time, you can just circle your item and it's going to put it on there for you. And then in terms of measurement for minis, we actually have built-in calculators at the top of our menu for different shapes because unlike, C9s where you're measuring the linear feet going across something, mini lights are going around things 360 degrees. So you're not seeing the back side of an item or the sides of it, but you are decorating those, even if you don't see it in the photo. So I have an actual like a background in engineering. So we created algorithms and calculations and put them into a little calculator for you guys. So you can just put in the height of your item and the width of your item and the spacing you want in between each layer. And it's going to help calculate how many minis you need, which I think is one of the most difficult things that a lot of people really struggle with. And also that AI struggles with as well. So it gives you a little bit more control and a little bit more of a reference point.
Yeah. AI does a really great job at a lot of things, but not a great job at everything. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard when you want that specificity and it's adding in an extra line of lights like on the left or on the back where you didn't quite want it and you're telling the client just but don't do that, like ignore this part.
Yeah.
It's just this part. Or it makes the bulbs look really big and close together, whereas our software, you're actually picking 12-inch versus 15-inch spacing. Or if you're in the commercial realm, 18-inch, 24-inch, all the way up to
Right.
36, which I think is, really important for setting that expectation.
Right. And
Yeah.
so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of commercial, that's where we specialize. And I remember when we were at Certified's training, you were just, I don't know if you had just launched it or you're about to launch the commercial part of your software. So, can you talk about the launch? How did it go? And then, after this season, how are you going to scale that part up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we now have a custom button. The custom button allows you to upload basically any kind of graphic you want as long as it doesn't have a background. So we have a lot of people who are actually doing commercial. They'll use the lights to measure like what is 10 feet up or 20 feet up, and they'll stretch their graphic to fit that. So it looks proportional with what they need for whatever it is. And then they're integrating that with our permanent lighting. We'll use individual permanent lights to use RGB lighting to do different things and different colors. So that's really cool. But one of the things we did do in addition to that is we teamed up with a bunch of vendors, Certified Lights being one of them. And they were so kind to put graphics for you guys on our graphic page. So if you see that button that says need graphics, you can click on that. You can select graphics that are offered by vendors and you'll know where to buy them. It'll talk about how tall they are, how wide they are, all those things that you might need. So you're not just designing something and then trying to figure out where you're going to get it. So it puts
That's
everything in
super
one
smart.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, that's handy. Here, put everything in there and then go buy it once they
Yeah.
accept it. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Red Sleigh actually has a button as well. One of the things that we are going to be doing to scale up is hopefully working a little bit closer with companies like Red Sleigh and some of the other vendors who really specialize in only big items, to see how we can improve those graphics that they're sending us and make them more scale to size so that people aren't having to then adjust it with the lights and they can just add it and it's the perfect size. It's a really high resolution graphic and it has that feel and look that they're going for.
That's awesome. Patrick, have you been on the Holiday Home Concepts app recently? Playing on there at
No,
all?
I haven't been on there since like December 8th.
How about you, Ashley? You've been on there doing anything? I'm just calling Ashley out from Certified Lights.
Or Amanda.
I'm actually really excited once Ashley
She's
gets on,
she's a
but
sad face.
I am excited. Oh, she says from Ebron, she says, but I need to get in. I'm really excited to hear from her about the convention she went to in Germany. I am so jealous.
Yes.
It looked amazing because I feel like when you go to stuff like that, you're seeing the newest and greatest that's coming out for commercial design. Stacy, have you and Patrick ever been to that show?
We're planning on going next season.
Yeah.
The companies I used to work for went almost every year, so I've got a lot of the information back, but I really want to go. I want to go for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything that I've heard about Christmas World is, that's what's going to be, it's the trends in, 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So everything that you're seeing at that show, so you can kind of predict the market and your designs and stuff for 3 years out.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited. And y'all, excuse to go to Europe and visit Germany. Come on.
Right. In February of all the times you want to be there.
Right. Just after the Christmas markets.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I wanted to get a demo on the screen. Do you have one you can pull up, Sarah, just to kind of talk us through?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let
We've been
me
talking a lot about it, but for our visual people who are watching on Facebook, let's like show them a couple of things that's possible. I mean, I'd be interested
sure.
to see the certified lights button on there or something. We can look at what they have because we got them repping in here with us.
Yeah. Let me pull it up and take down the million of tabs I had because I wasn't.
I want to see the million. I want to see the real deal. Come on, Sarah. This is only streaming for everybody for the rest of all time. No big deal.
It's mostly all the bookings for everything I have coming up and
Yeah.
dialogue with my team. So nothing too embarrassing, thank God. But let me go ahead and
Well, I hope your booth
share.
is by ours at Light
Light
It
it
Up.
up. We are next door.
Are we?
Yeah, I think we got right next door to her.
Oh, perfect.
Is your booth
See,
number
I
20 there?
I just I just
Anyway.
smile and look pretty. That's my job. So
I'm so terrible about like once I've booked it, I'm like, okay, yeah, we got it, we're done. I'm not looking at it again usually till we're fine. It's really bad. I know I shouldn't do that, but yeah, we just show up, we see where the sign is, and we set it up. Let me go ahead and move this dashboard. Okay, so we've been doing some experimenting and stuff recently with some other with our new software. So you're going to see a bunch of other crud on here. But I'll just show you guys really quickly, what it looks like, what you're able to do with it, and so forth. So we'll just call this one Red Sleigh.
Perfect.
You can have, your client name and then whatever project you want underneath it. So if your client has, say, a lake house and a business and their own home and you do them all, then you can have that for them. Ideally, we're going to have some really awesome integrations coming up at the end of, beginning of this season, next Christmas season, where you'll be able to have that integrate a little bit more with whatever your current CRM is. So I'll show you guys really quickly. So you'll be able to pull up a photo from just about anywhere, as I was saying before. I used a lot of Google Street View, or sometimes the client sends me something, or sometimes Zillow or something else will have a really good photo. We add a known measurement. Sometimes I find really good measurements on Google Earth. Sometimes it's something standard like the width of a two-car garage or, the height of the first floor. So it can come from a lot of different places, or if you happen to be there yourself, great, you can do that as well. At that point, you can move your measurement window out of the way. And I need to move this little guy out of the way. There we go. And then you can choose between single or multicolor lights for whatever kind of lights you want. We have C9, C7s, permanent lighting, mini lights, anything your heart really desires. And then from there, you pick whatever pattern or single light that you want. You can do triple color, single colors, two of one, two of the other, whatever works for you. You choose the spacing that you're installing in real life. And then you can really just start drawing, which is, really easy to do. You just click, release. It's spacing it out the right way. And as we did that, it started adding up in our calculator for us. So we have our C9s, they're multicolor, 15-inch spacing, 19 bulbs, 23.8 feet of light, and then it multiplies it by your pricing sheet, which ideally you're setting up at the beginning of your season. Now, don't worry about these prices. This is a demo account, so these are probably the prices of whoever I last trained using it, just to show them. But you can put in whatever pricing works for you for whatever type of item works for you. So things like wreaths or whatever it might be are going to scale correctly. Does a 60-inch wreath work there or not? And then you're going to be able to see that in that estimate as you go along, which makes it really, easy to do. Again, the drawing is pretty simple. You can swap out that background, just as Patrick was saying. We used to only have a night sky and a sunset background, but now we also have cloudy night, dark night, gray sky, and night snow.
Ooh, what's night snow?
Uh, I'll show you really quickly. So that's night snow. So people really like using the night snow feature in combination with our enhancement AI feature if they're adding snow. So they'll do the snow enhancement, download that, and then they'll swap it out for the night snow. If that's something that they really want to do. It just depends on where you live. If you live in Florida, it's not as popular. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. If you're more of the Halloween variety of person, we've got that nice kind of creepy cloudy night. We can select all our C9s at once and, swap things out for, more kind of Halloween colors if we want to.
Right.
You still have that nice contrast on the front to bring down that front lighting should you need it. The mini light feature that we were talking about before with Patrick, you can select that scatter shot and choose from a low, medium, or high density. and you can just circle your item and just add those lights really quick and easy. But the nice thing is that everything is scaling so that let's say for whatever reason you need something that's further in the foreground of your photo. Maybe you have a tree that's way further up. Maybe you have lawn ornamentation and like let's just say for instance like this close in the photo is 4 feet. I don't know if it is, but we're going to say it is. If I'm adding something like a deer, for instance, then that deer is proportional for this part of the photo. I can click back into this portion, and this is going to be proportional for that portion of the photo.
Oh,
So
I love that.
add
So great.
different things at different depths. We know which depth we're working in because one area is dashed, the other is solid. Or, you can just click on the decor. One goes dim, one goes bright. When you download it, everything's bright. You're not going to have the light or dark anymore, but that's going to really help you kind of keep the proportionality straight. Um, for our custom items, there's so many things that you can do. So, if you have something that's large and commercial, again, you can scale it using our lights, make sure it looks the right way, have that for your mall walkthrough or whatever it might be to make it look the right way. But if you don't have, you know, the right options or you're not sure what to pick or, where you can get stuff, we do have this need graphics button at the top. And you'll be able to see everything from, in subsets, commercial decor, RGB decor, and residential decor. So you can go to somewhere like Red Sleigh Workshop or, Certified Lights and see what they're offering commercially. And just simply download that. Now, Certified doesn't have quite as much on the commercial side as they do on the residential. So we have some more residential items for them. But maybe you do need that big, giant red and gold bow. You can just simply download it by clicking that download button and upload it to your custom features. So you have that at your fingertips, easy to use. Or if you need to buy it, you can simply click that where to buy button and it's going to take you right to Certified's page. Well, not anymore. We're going to have to fix that link, it looks like, Ashley.
Oops.
They might have changed the link since they sent it to me, but it'll open up whatever that product page is so that you can purchase it, which makes it a little bit easier as well. And so we've got 6 different vendors on there. Some of them are more commercial heavy. So they'll have, 50 or 60 plus items on their commercial side, and some are very residential heavy, and then they'll have that for their residential side. But you'll be able to use those groupings however you need to and make things look, however you need to really emphasize scale and whatever else that you're going for. We also have, text overlays. So if you need to label anything, put notes, anything like that, you're going to be able to do that. Everything that we have in here from garland to wreaths to bows are going to be the generally available commercial sizes and colors that you are used to. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You're going to also be able to, again, use that enhance button. Should you need it for enhancement, there's a lot you can do with it. Enhancing your warm whites, multicolor, permanent lighting, or adding snow if that's a feature that's really important to you.
Can you add your logo?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the great things about the custom button, is that you can upload your own logo and you can make that as big or as small as you want, and then, place wherever you feel like it's going to look the best.
Perfect.
So take me through quickly, if this was going to be added to an estimate and sent to a client, what does
Mhm.
that process look like in here?
Yeah, so we left things very open depending on what you like to use. So if you're someone who, has a CRM that you're already happy with, you want to send everything out from there, great. You can just go to options and hit download and send it to them. Not a problem for that image. If you're someone who needs something or doesn't have that CRM yet, You can use our proposal system and then just select proposal. It will create a proposal for you that you'll be able to change up before you send it to the client. So it'll have your logo, your company name, any info you have. This is kind of like an older logo we have. It's not a very good one, but however you save the client. Now, I just saved this as HSW show, which was we were at last year, but if it was the client's name and the client's info, it would all be there. If you don't want to add your graphic for your logo on the front side, which I prefer doing, you can still do a watermark on the left or right if you would prefer that. Um, you can overwrite your numbers to be whatever you want. So I've got random numbers in my calculator right now for how it's calculated stuff. Some of it says $1 or zero.
Right.
But whatever that is for you, you'll be able to override it. It overwrites it for the client. It doesn't override it on your quick estimate. So your numbers are still there. But let's say you do need to, take into account a lift, or maybe they're just a really difficult client and you're trying to, you're not sure you want it, you can overwrite that and they will only see what you've overwritten, not the original pricing. Because again, you're going to share with them this link when you're ready. So because it is completely cloud-based, you can pop that into your description in your CRM. You can text it to them, you can email it to them, whatever works for you. If you have multiple designs, like a design 1, 2, and 3, you can have as many as you want. You can decide which of your designs you're going to show in your proposal and which are you going to include in a grand total. So if you have a good, better, best design, you don't want that all added up together, right? If you are measuring maybe from the front and the top and you want to add those together, you don't want to show the top one, you just want the numbers for it. So you can unclick the aerial view for your design and just leave the front side view instead, and still have it add into like a grand total if you need to. There's a terms and conditions section. So in our settings, you'll be able to go to settings, change all your info, including your terms and conditions, paragraphs and paragraphs if you want. But then you can also edit those for any individual project. So when you open up that project's proposal, just simply click edit and you can change it for just that particular client, which is sometimes necessary. Sometimes
So helpful.
Yeah,
So helpful.
absolutely. Sometimes you have that client who is a late payer, or it's a different net for a commercial client than it would be for a residential. So it definitely gives you a lot of options in terms of that. We do have the inventory manager, as I mentioned before. So you'll have lots of different items. If there is an item that we don't have in the software, it's really easy to just click add a new item and then create an item for yourself. So we've done that with vampire plugs, timers, stakes, all kinds of stuff, and you can add whatever size or variations you want. And to manage that, it's really simple. You're able to put in, based on what kind of C9 you have, the bulb size, and then how many feet of spool you have based on your spacing. And so again, if you have that in the software, for whatever you're adding, it can auto subtract for you if you have enough in inventory. And if not, then it's going to let you know.
You got all that, Sean? There's going to be a test tomorrow, brother.
Sean joined us from Certified Lights.
And JC hopped on and said, see you soon. So we're going to see JC and Angela tomorrow or Wednesday for sure. So
Okay, Sarah, are you doing the 5K?
I am doing the 5K.
Yes.
To be honest, I'm so nervous about it.
It's okay. I walked last time, the whole time. We'll walk together. We don't have to run. We can walk.
I feel like I'm going to try to run for a little bit, but
that's me too.
I might honk out after a little bit. I have been working out every day. I've kind of like made a workout promise to myself.
That's good.
But most of my workouts are like strength trainings or Zumba classes. I used to be a runner back in like high school, but I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, my workouts have been dance classes. That's what I've been doing. But I used to go every
It's so
Yeah.
much fun,
So
right?
much fun. So much fun. I'd rather dance with a bunch of people than go to weightlifting, but that's what it
We
is.
Same.
should we should sponsor an event next time, and instead of a 5K, it should be a dance off. And you know what? Angela
She's
would
a dancer.
she used to be a
Yeah.
dance
Professional
student.
dancer.
She
Mhm.
would totally do it with us. Absolutely.
Okay. We
And then
should
the
have like
guys will
a
have to
class.
do
Yeah.
it, and that will be fun to watch.
I mean, Patrick may not participate, but we'll see.
Well, it depends on how many beers I have, and
I bet
um,
Patrick could shake his groove thing for
yeah,
sure.
when I dance, I'm like Crest toothpaste. I'm noticeably white. So, uh, I mean, after a couple of beers, I don't care. But yeah, I got a couple moves up there. But
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. I know it. And I'm
Okay, we'll get a
excited
dance
about the
squad together.
5K.
yeah,
But he'll be gonna cheerlead us on during the 5K.
All right. Sounds good.
well, kind of. It'll be
Ashley
early.
put Ashley put a robot emoji in the chat down there. So
100%.
I think that's her dance move she's saying she's gonna be doing.
Oh, and if you do permanent lighting, we have a permanent lighting feature as well. It does animation, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we should show that one.
sure. Yeah, I'll show really quick because I don't want to take up too much time talking about myself, and there's so many cool things that you guys
That's
That's
are
why
why we
you're
have you on
here.
here.
That's why you're here. People don't know. This is the thing. I know we went over this whole all the features last year, and since I don't use it often because I've been training, I forgot like what was there. So thank you so much for showing this. I'm super excited about it. I think that I'm looking forward to seeing you at this upcoming trade show, but also at our training coming up, so we can talk more in depth about it. But um, yeah, it's so helpful. The tool is so helpful, and it's just really great to see all the different things that are available
Oh
for
yeah,
installers.
we were surprised by how many competitors popped up this last season. But we decided, you know what? It doesn't matter what other people are doing. We just need to focus on making what we do the best that we can and innovating. And we ended up growing over the last year, which was fantastic. We had really awesome growth, a lot of new people and old people coming back. So we exceeded our numbers. And then in addition to that, it was so great to see the feedback that we were getting. A lot of people just saying, if you're doing any more than like 5 houses a year, just go ahead and do holiday home concepts because it's worth it. And it
Right.
just made my heart so happy.
Yeah, it's for a mock-up and all the stuff that you're doing, it's my favorite to use personally. Um, so that's why I always recommend it.
Well,
Yeah.
So,
thank
and then
you.
with all these cool features and stuff, it just keeps getting better and better. So, um,
No, it's definitely been a labor of love, but it's also one of those things that if you're in software, I always say innovate or die.
Right.
And so that's what we've really pushed ourselves to do. So for the permanent lighting, it's really cool because we've really tailored it to work with any kind of brand that you could possibly install. So we have all the spacings, whether you're installing Omni, Aleo, Inception, the Q, Minleon Pebble, does not matter. We've got spacings for absolutely everything. Your patterning, you can do group patterning, so you can add multiple groups. So if you need, one pattern to be all like blue and red and white at the top, and then you need something another color running along the bottom for a big commercial property, you can do that as well. You can have some of your pucks on or off, so 3 on, 2 off, to make it look like architectural lighting if you need to, which is really important for a lot of people. Because you can program permanent lighting to do that, which is so cool. I feel like it's really come such a far way in such a small amount of time, that whole industry. And it's just really easy to draw. So again, it's still measuring, it's still doing all the things that you want it to do. It has that beautiful, vibrant color. And you can, design it to do shine just outward or downward, depending on how you're installing it. which most permanent lighting gives you the option of either or. Um, you can really change it based on how close you are to, say, like a backboard, or how, if you have a deep porch, if you need something that is brighter or, less depth to it, you can change that opacity. You can change, your beam widths. You can change heights, whatever you need to. If you happen to be close to like the ground, there's not really anything here that is close to the ground, but let's say we did have something close to the ground, right? So let me just click that. You can select whatever line that is, and you can add a nice surface coverage on the ground and increase the height on that so that it's sitting right where you want it to be. That way it has that effect as if, you have light pooling, on the surface there, which is really neat. I've also seen a lot of people use our permanent lighting on a more individual light basis and turn it upside down to make it look like landscape lighting. Although now we actually do have a landscape lighting software coming out. So there's a
Great.
lot you can do with it.
And how do you animate it?
Animation is really easy. You just go to options and hit your animation preview. It will animate anything that is permanent lighting in your photo.
That's cool.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
I love that. So I mean, we've talked about a lot so far. Why don't you tell us, I mean, we talked about some new items. What else is coming out for Holiday Home Concepts for people who maybe haven't decided they want to add it to their system yet? Like, what would you say, why should someone use this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in addition to like the stuff that you're seeing today, the permanent lighting, the Christmas lights, the scaling, the measurements, all that fun stuff, the background swap out tool. We're going to be, again, integrating with some CRMs this year and working toward pushing the software to be open API so that if you are someone who is, all about go high level, or you have a CRM that like and love, because most of us don't do just Christmas. Like Christmas is, basically for a lot of people from like, they start selling in maybe August if they're not commercial people. And then they're done by December, and then they've got some takedowns and that's it. So a lot of the installers out there are going to be window cleaners and pressure washers and painters and all kinds of different things. So our goal this year is, rather than you having to reincorporate things into the current software you're working in, uh, everything will just port over for you.
That's
So you
great.
make sure you're not doing any kind of double data entry of any kind, and making it a lot easier for your people. The other thing that we are working on is a takedown map system. Right now, what a lot of people are doing is they'll use our C9s and they'll just color code things to make it look like a map. So they'll do something kind of like this, um, which is okay. But I think what our aim is, so they'll say, oh, this is like the green line, and they'll label, that particular line the green line. They'll use our spotlights for, their power source or different things like that. But we want to have a more formal takedown mapping system for people so that they're using it all the way through to the end of takedowns, and then it's being stored with that client's information. So they have both what the installation should look like, but also what the takedown map should be, all in one place, which should make it a lot easier for your crews to get out there and make sure things look the right way.
Right. I'm
Also,
curious
we
too, you being the installation residential installer, what type of storage bins do you use for their lights?
So, we love the standard big black bins with the yellow tops on them. You know which ones I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
the 27.
So those are the ones that we've gone through a lot of different types of bins. But those seem to be the ones that work out the best for us in terms of the way they hold up and how they stack and stuff. So we usually go to Costco. And usually at least twice a year, they'll have a sale where we get them for about $7 per bin, which is a pretty good price. And they have some awesome shelving where it fits them just perfect. So we have a few dedicated storage units, really large ones, just lined with shelves. We hang garland from the top on hooks, kind of like almost like a hanger system,
Mhm.
just to keep them off the ground. We don't have to squish them then, and they can stay fluffed up. With wreaths, I like to use like the really large black garbage bags. We'll put them in there, tie them up nicely, and then we'll pierce that bag through the back and have a hook on the wall where they all hook up. So that's kind of how we do it. But one of the things that we're playing with and that we think we might actually integrate into holiday home concepts pretty soon is as part of that inventory management portion, actually having a QR code system so that you can scan your container. With that QR, you can either print or we would print it and send it to you, whichever I guess works. And then you'll be able to see when those bulbs were installed, who needs maintenance, who do they belong to. The maps should be attached in that same QR um, code page. So it all goes with that client's profile, so to speak. And then when you're installing, you can put in that information, like the general serial number of the bulbs for that year, because sometimes you really need that information. I'll give you an example. We were installing a house, I want to say 2 seasons back, and we had gotten a call from the homeowner saying that his roof was smoking. And we're like, what do you
Oh,
mean? And we went out there, and one of the bulbs was completely black on the inside. And I've never seen anything like that. Christmas bulbs are meant to be pretty waterproof. It was brand new bulbs that we had, just recently purchased. I went to the vendor, they took a look at it, they were trying to figure it out, and we just kept going back and forth with the homeowner. Luckily, their home was fine. It ended, it was raining really hard that night and it was okay. But what we ended up finding out was that they had soft washed their house, not by us, because we would have told them you need to be careful with that with Christmas lights. And we do a really good job with a post rinse so that you don't fry any vegetation around the home or things like that. But they had hired somebody else to do the soft wash, and whoever did it left the chemicals on there too long and didn't rinse. And when that happens, you have something like sodium hydroxide, which is super corrosive. And it can eat around that base of your bulbs. And so basically, that's what was happening. Water was
wow.
getting into the bulbs, it was creating an arcing situation. And that's what ended up happening. But it was such a huge relief to be able to, like say, look at our system, see the serial number for that particular batch of bulbs, take it to our vendor. They were able to look up what year those were manufactured. Is this an ongoing issue? Has it been reported before? And it helped us to whittle things down very quickly. So I think everyone should really know what they're installing, and that just because you're getting one batch one year doesn't mean it's equal to another batch the next year. Luckily, again, it wasn't a product issue, so to speak, but it was so cool that our vendor was able to help us decipher like that just based off of that serial number.
Right. And if you didn't note that somewhere, you wouldn't even know.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
We got
Exactly.
a we got a question from Facebook here from our good buddy Michael Carey.
Sure.
He said, "How long is the download for the animation? Is it a couple seconds? It's hard to text large files to customers, so just curious."
Yeah. So it's only about 5 seconds long. And we did that because it's hard to text large files. So it's just an MP4. It only goes for about 5 seconds. You can loop it if you really want to. Um, but we've designed it to be a small item that's easy to send out.
And then we also in the comments on Zoom, Ashley Garber from Certified said that they sold an HOA permanent lighting last year thanks to Holiday Home Concept. So basically your mock-up tool is what sold the job.
That's awesome. That makes me really happy to hear.
Yeah.
We worked really hard on trying to make it look the way permanent lighting looks and feels. So one of the big things we did is like we get really hands-on. Like we went to trainings, we did installations, we, took pictures at night of like how is it shining, how is it reflecting, how long is this going, and what do all these brands look like? How can we make it look more like permanent lighting if we need to do that? And I was so happy with the work our team did. They really hit it out of the park. That's really awesome. I'm glad you guys got the account.
Ashley's quiet. She's not even posted. Maybe she's having dinner. Oh, thank you, she said. But yeah, so we've been talking about Light It Up Expo. We're all going to be there, certified Red Sleigh and Holiday Home Concepts. Where else are you going to be this year? We know Trans World is coming up in a, I know it's going to be here tomorrow, real quick. So, are you guys going to be at Trans World this year?
Yes, yeah, we are going to be at Trans World. We're also going to be doing the pre-show that's being put on by We Hang Christmas, along with being in the installers hub there. We're really excited about it. I think in the past, Trans World has been a show that's been very heavily geared toward the larger items. And they have really worked the last 2 years on bringing in both that commercial space and that residential space as far as Christmas goes together. So I'm really excited about that. The classes that are going to be offered, I'm going to be on an expert panel there. So if you want to hear me speak about design and profit and all these good things, you can check me out there as well. And I'll be in St. Louis all that week. How do you guys like St. Louis, by the way?
It is Trans World is there, and I enjoy going to Trans World, and that's about as much. St. Louis is okay. It's not my favorite place in the world, but there's definitely the after hour events, the networking events, the parties and stuff to go, hang out with other installers. And I enjoy that aspect of it. So, I mean, we're flying in Tuesday and we don't fly out till Monday. So we're going to be there for a full week. So, um, going to St. Louis for a week was never on my bucket list. But being able to go there and do a pre-show training that we're doing on Wednesday for the commercial Christmas training. Um, and then, we have a lot going on. We're going to be in the installers hub as well. So, was certified right next to us. So, we got a lot of stuff that we're doing, so it should make the time go by pretty quick. There's all the bowling and there's Christmas at the beach. Stacy lost internet. She just texted me, so as soon as it comes back on, she's gonna hop back on. But St. Louis is a fun town. I only go for Transworld every year, and that's but Rich and Jen, we really enjoyed working with them this year to put together the light series. So um, excited about that. There's a couple classes that I'm going to be taking. Because if you're going to Transworld, you might as well, learn some stuff while you're there. You're
For
investing
sure.
the time and money in your business. So, um, is there anything else you guys are doing besides Transworld this year?
Yeah, so we just got back from Elevate last week, which is the IWCA PWNA show. Window cleaning, pressure washing. Um, we have the Light It Up Expo, we've got Trans World, and then we are also going to be going to the Huge later on this year,
Nice.
Clipicon as well. And then we usually do a handful of events for vendors. But now that we have the landscape lighting software, we might be going to some more things for
Right.
that too. So we're going to see how that all plays out. But if anyone is on the fence about like whether or not to go to Trans World, I can promise you it's totally worth it. One, I think the Halloween section is so much darn fun. I mean,
Right.
like full size haunted houses inside. but there's so much to see Christmas wise that you're not going to see at other shows because there's just not the floor space for it. That's the truth.
Right.
And you'll see that at Trans World. But in addition to that, and the great classes, man, St. Louis has some of the best food, I gotta say,
Yeah.
especially Irish and Italian food. If you get a chance, they have like a little Italy section. Go to Dogtown for great Irish food. They've got an awesome zoo, parks, museums. There's actually more to do than just the arch, but the arch is also really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, last year I didn't get to, I went to St. Louis when I was like 17, so it's been a long time. And then when I went last year for Trans World, you know, it was like, okay, I did the arch, but got to experience some of the other stuff, but was pretty busy um, going to classes and doing other stuff while I was there. So this year, unfortunately, I'm going to be super busy as well. So I don't know how much we're really going to get to see besides with all the classes we're doing and having the booth and then the social events. But I will say the food is really good there. So, um,
Are you
yeah,
gonna be going to Disney or Universal when you guys go to Light It Up Expo this coming week? Or I
you
guess
know,
in a few days.
we haven't really planned anything. I'm not a big Disney person. I have my 5-year-old daughter, so if she was going, then probably would go to Disney. But um, no, yeah, we got so much going on. I don't know how much we're really going to get to explore while we're at Light It Up, but yeah. So I think I heard a little birdie saying earlier that you might be at our next 2-day in-person training. Is that right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you for reminding me. So
So
in April.
yeah, so April 30th, May 1st, Sarah Vandermeer is actually going to be coming to our 2-day in-person training here in San Antonio, and we're really excited to have her. Um, So if you wanted to pick her brain even more, you can come to our 2-day in-person training. Oh, here we go. Stacy's pulling everything up. So we got the Lighted Up Expo this week. Then we have Trans World at the end of the month. We have a 1-day pre-show class on Wednesday, the 25th. Here we go.
And if
And
you're looking
then,
for a fun place to be, San Antonio is it. I mean,
yeah,
for real, like truly, like, San Luis has good food, but like San Antonio, oh my gosh,
yeah,
the
we
best.
had more than half of our installers stayed for the weekend, and they were just like, man, we had so much fun at the class. We learned a lot, but then also getting to go to Transworld, or excuse me, sorry, my phone was ringing. Going to get to the Riverwalk and go to downtown and explore San Antonio. They all had a really good time.
I've been on
So,
a Riverwalk tour at least 4 times in my life, and each time I feel like I pick up a little something new, and it's just so beautiful.
right. Oh, hey, okay. Here's our 1-day pre-show training at the Transworld Christmas Show, March 25th, from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So pretty much full day. Um, and then, like we say, we have our 2-day in-person training, April 30th to March 1st. And then Action Lighting out in Bozeman, Montana is having us come out there June 13th for a 1-day training um, out in Bozeman, Montana.
Oh,
Um,
I love action lighting.
yeah,
Elwood is fantastic. He's
yeah.
probably got to be one of my favorite people in the industry. He will definitely show you all a good time. And Bozeman is a beautiful place. That's actually where my husband grew up.
Oh, really?
So I am so jealous. I might have to call Elwood and see if we can tag along.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because we're gonna spend an extra day there just to be able to explore. We actually put an extra day in our plans there to be able to go to Yellowstone or do something fun.
Yeah, Glacier
So
National Park. Oh man. When did you say you were going?
it's June 13th is our
I'm not
training day.
sure if it
So
lines up or not, but if you get a chance to go to the Sweet Pea Festival, it's pretty bomb.
Sweet Pea, what is
Yeah.
that? Like
It's a huge like music food festival that they have every year in Bozeman, Montana.
It sounds good to
oh,
me. Anything with sweet peas, I'm there. So that's all I know.
right. And then also a training that we don't have on our list here is with certified lights, September 28th, if I remember correctly.
I'll have to update that. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so
So
sorry, Ashley.
they have their installer training, and then we're going to be doing a 1 day version that Saturday of intro to commercials. So there's another option for up in Dallas. There it is. I think it's the 28th, if I remember correctly, at somewhere around there.
It's in
Um,
September. That's
yeah,
all we
it's in
know.
September. Yeah, so I can pull it up on my calendar.
All
26th.
right.
I think it's the 26th. So, and then if people need to get a hold of you, Sarah, how do they get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of us is just send us an email at info@holidayhomeconcepts.com. That way you get one of our staff no matter what. If you're emailing me, I am often traveling and going to these types of events. But info@holidayhomeconcepts.com, you'll get our wide staff of professionals who can help you right away.
So Ashley Garber commented September 3rd through the 5th. Um, so I was completely off. But we also had somebody comment, Kevin on here asked if you're going to the East Coast Christmas show for Transworld.
I've actually had a few people ask me if I'm going to be doing that. We usually go out to see Thunder Lighting in October timeframe, and I
Mhm.
keep thinking about it, but I just wasn't sure like how Christmassy it was or not.
Yeah, it's right after Transworld. It's middle end of April, I think. April.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in Philadelphia, April 15th. I can't read it on my schedule. No, I don't remember the dates, but it's the end of April. But I don't think that we're going to that one. I think it's just too close to the different trainings that we're doing. But a lot of people are asking to go to that as well. There's a Christmas event happening there too, and we're just not part of it. So I don't know what's happening. But
Yeah, I'll have to look at
yeah.
that because I've had a lot of people in our Northeast kind of realm of the country who've been asking if I'm going to be coming to it or not. So it sounds like fun though. I mean, anything that Transworld has done, they really make it a party for real. Like if you see some of their events, they are nonstop fun. I think there was one that was like catching zombies, and like some people were cowboys and some people could be zombies or something. Because there's the whole Halloween aspect to it as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
There's a Dia de los Muertos big bash and party that they've usually done every year. I mean, they really go all out. It's a blast.
Well, I like how you say that.
Well, I should
Yeah.
say it right. My mom would be very upset if I said it different.
You don't want to hear how I say that. So,
Yeah. I just say
so
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Yeah. So this is the Transworld site. If you go on here, our installer and intensive training programs listed on here with the little click to go buy the pre-show ticket. If you already have a ticket, it's only $300 to attend. If you don't have a ticket to the show yet, and if you're not going to the light series yet, you can buy it for $625. And that includes the our 1 day class, the Transworld show ticket, and the light series. And the entire light series is all the classes over a 3 day period, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it's listed on here, all the different classes, but it's going to be really fun. If people are in here, if you're a Christmas light installer and you're not coming to Transworld and you're not taking these classes, you're just what business are you in? That's what
You're
I want.
missing out. It's
Right.
a lot of great info, a lot of great leaders in our industry that are teaching some really great stuff. So
So many. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to get off the screen here so you guys we can talk.
perfect. And then if you want to get a hold of us, you can go to redslayworkshop.com. We are on all the socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, the TikTok, and we're even on LinkedIn. Both of me, Stacy, we're on LinkedIn, so you can catch up with us there, what we're doing. Stacy's really good at posting daily on LinkedIn. I am not as good, but getting better. So, um,
I
but
have a
yeah,
little help with some people. It's not
yeah,
always
we,
me.
yeah, I know. But awesome. So, is there any last minute things you want to say or share? Or
Final
final
words
words?
from Sarah.
Well, I guess final words or final advice that I have for everyone is that 2026 is a new year and your business will only grow as much as what you put into it. And so that's one of the great things about being a business owner. Everything you put into it, you're going to get out of it. But part of that is investment. It's so easy to get lost in the weeds or the day-to-day operations. By investing in your company, by coming to something like Red Sleigh Workshop or to Transworld, or any of these other events, you're going to get new ideas and systems that you didn't even realize that you needed. And it's going to allow you to really grow so that you're not just working in your business, you're working on your business. So don't hesitate to make this investment in yourself, in your business. And at the end of the day, if anything, at least you got a great vacation out of it too.
Right.
I love that. So thank you so much, Certified Lights, for joining us online, and Spanky from Right Quick Lighting. Thank you for being here as well. You had so many questions. It was amazing. Thank you, Patrick, for coming on and helping host this. And Sarah, thank you so much for coming and giving us your knowledge and sharing your expertise with our community, because we know that it's about strategy and positioning and helping installers understand how to present and curate and sell at this higher level. And with your software, it will definitely help them do that out in all of those different levels they're trying to get to. And so thank you so much for coming. And for our
Thank
people
you for
watching,
having
yeah,
me.
yes, you're welcome. And for people watching on Facebook, if you're serious about growing your commercial division in 2026, you have to think about how you're going to present it. And that's, it's not just what you install. Like you, of course, if you come to any of the classes or any of my one-on-one training, I'm going to say, where are you at on socials? Where are you at on LinkedIn? How are you looking when people are Googling you? That's a really big part of it. But it's not just that. It's not just what you install. It's not just how you show up. It's how you present yourself as well when you're presenting these presentations. And definitely get a hold of Sarah, so she can help you, or her team will help you. You can also book a consultation on their site, because we want to help you in every way to make you more successful. And if you're interested in booking a call with us, you can do that on our site as well. So that's all I have for you guys. Anything else, Patrick? You want to give us your final words?
No, I'm just really, really grateful for Sarah and Certified and everybody coming to this live. I'm excited to see tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow.
Um, yeah, I'm excited for Light It Up. I'm excited for Transworld. I think the installers going to Transworld know what they're getting and all the stuff that's going to be there. The installers that went to our training, really learned a lot and are really pumped up for the 2026 commercial season. And yeah, so if you have any questions, reach out to all of us. And yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See
Okay.
you guys.
All
Bye.
right,
See you guys next
bye.
time. Bye. Thank you. And stop. Stop. There we go.